Ford and O'Brien, ESPN Evansville 105.3 online, ESPNEvansville.com. Joining us now in studio for his weekly In the Crease segments, Evansville IceMen head coach Dwight Mullins. Hey, Coach, how's it going?
Great, guys. How's everything post-holiday week?
So far, so good on this end of things, Jimmy.
I'm all right. You're still, voice still doing the thing, whatever. But I got turkey left, so it's good.
What did it slow you down any?
No. It just I didn't really have energy. I just had to have the wife fill my plate again instead of me getting up doing
Pumpkin pie, I heard, is the best thing for your throat.
Then I should be pretty good because I got about 2 or 3 pies or something.
Where did you guys end up having your Thanksgiving meal?
It was kind of an interesting week for us. Obviously, we got into Elmira, New York, early Thursday morning, which was Thanksgiving Day morning. And, really the guys, there's a few guys that had some family in town there, so they took off and just found a place to have some dinner. And, I had my family actually fly up to New York City, so I jumped in a car and headed down to New York City for the day with them and brought them back to Elmira late in the night. So we kind of had a nice day together. That's nice. But, everybody just kind of did their own thing. I think most of the guys hit a Ruby Tuesday. They had a little salad bar and a little turkey special.
Yeah.
So we made do.
Whatever you can do.
Yep.
So it was a decent weekend for you guys. You get 2 wins, and then you have the 1 overtime loss to Elmira over the weekend, brings your overall record to 8-7-1-1. And we've talked about in the past the shots on goal and what you look for in a game, 12 to 15 average per period. You guys didn't really get to that point. You had 26 on Wednesday, 33 Friday, 21 on Saturday. So what are you looking to do to try to improve those kind of numbers?
Well, I think shots on goal, you can break them down into a couple of different things. I mean, obviously, when you're on the bottom end of power plays and penalty kills, the shot totals are going to be skewed one way or the other. I know that the one night we had, 6 power plays against. We only had 2-4, and those shot totals can climb when there's power plays involved that way. And the other thing is I really try to break it down into quality scoring chances, not so much shots, because shots can be a lot of misleading things. They can be from the perimeter, they can be from below the goal line, they can be from outside the blue line, and again, the totals don't necessarily reflect puck possession as much as quality chances. So, do we need to change a few things? Yeah, I think that there's times that we need to clean our game up. I thought we had just some unprovoked turnovers on Friday night that led to different times spending in our zone that we don't need. So I think that just taking care of the puck a little bit better is a really big adjustment that we need to make. And the other thing is that, we gain offensive zone time, but we're not getting the puck to the net. We're trying to be a little bit too fancy at times and try to make, a nice play or an extra move or an extra play and coming away without anything at the net. When the puck's at the net, there's urgency. And so we have to try to find a way to generate in the other end.
Well, one of the things you're talking about record and a good weekend, but one of the things maybe that some of the listeners that are not big-time hockey fans may not understand completely. Maybe you can explain it a little bit.
Yep.
The record is more even on like a point system.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily you can get points without winning a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you got 5 of the 6 points available to you over this weekend stint. Explain a little bit how that point system works.
Okay, so obviously, when you get the outright win, you get 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
And if you outright lose, you get 0 points. Anytime a game goes into extra time, whether it's overtime or to a shootout, each team's guaranteed 1 point out of that contest. So now the extra point gets awarded. If you score in overtime, then the extra point gets awarded to the team that scores. Or if you win the shootout, the extra point gets awarded to that team as well.
So you still get 2 if you win in overtime.
Yeah, it's a 3-point game. Yeah,
okay.
It's a 3-point game there. Yeah, so each team walks away. So like in our last 4 games, I mean, we've got 7 out of 8 points. Again, and again, it's those games like that keep the standings and keep the races tight. I mean, again, you're looking to be one of the top 4 teams in your division to be able to qualify for the playoffs. And so, again, with 3-point games at stake, it keeps teams alive for a long time, and it keeps things tight. And you can go through a great spell and really close the gap, or you can go through a little bit of a skid, and there causes some separation. So yeah, but that's the point system that we have, and it's basically the same point system that the National Hockey League uses as well.
Evansville IceMen head coach Dwight Mullins joining us in studio, his weekly segment In the Crease, talking some Evansville IceMen hockey. A name that's been getting brought up a lot, Coach, on your roster, and it seems to have been since the now, I guess, infamous maybe is the word for it, the Batman versus Riddler fight. But Kevin Harvey has really come on strong, and I know you're familiar with him from your days with him in Elmira.
Yeah.
But he had a great weekend, scores that tying goal on Wednesday, the lone goal in Saturday's win over Elmira.
Yeah.
Talk about what he brings to the team, and is he a guy you lean on to be a leader in that locker room?
Well, he leads, and he leads in a couple of different ways. Yeah, Kevin is an enthusiastic guy by nature, and he loves life. He loves the life of a hockey player. He plays, he lives his life the way that he plays. I mean, he plays with everything that he has. And, he's a guy that is not afraid to go to the hard areas of the ice. He goes to the net. He tries to create havoc out there every time that he steps on the ice. And, through that, he gets some extra time and space. There's a lot of guys that don't know just really where this guy falls a little bit mentally, And so in our game,
I feel that. Yeah, I've been there.
So in our game, you don't know if maybe you should go near a guy like that or not, which gives him time.
That's not a bad thing.
No, it isn't. It gives him time and space, and he's taking advantage of it. He's a guy that's really trained hard over the course of the summer. He's changed a lot of his lifestyle. There's no doubt about it, and some of that's coming through in his game. But he's a guy that I think our team has kind of rallied around a little bit as well. In the last 4 games, I've really felt our group come together as a group, and we've stuck up for ourselves from a physical standpoint and from a hockey standpoint, and it's nice to see. And I think Kevin's been part of the catalyst of that.
Yeah. Well, you as we always talk about each and every week, there's been more roster moves here and there. You got Patrick Kennedy back for just a little bit.
Yeah.
Now he's recalled to Utica. Danny Hobbs gets recalled to Binghamton.
Yeah.
So for those of us that maybe aren't knowledgeable about the day-to-day operations of how a hockey league works, how does that play out? Do their AHL teams hold their rights and have that ability to kind of pull them and send them as they please, and it's just kind of you guys are you have them and use them as long as you have them kind of thing, or how does that all play out?
Well, basically, you can look at it from a standpoint of being having 2 levels of pay on your contract. There's an American League level of pay, and then there's an East Coast League level of pay. And so when you're on a 2-way contract like that, that means that your rights are owned by that American Hockey League team specifically, and that your rights at the ECHL level are either A, with who you signed maybe an ECHL contract with, or B, the affiliate of that team. So in our case, Binghamton's our American League affiliate, and the players that are here as affiliate players are on American League contracts. Now, they can also be on an NHL contract, okay, that then also is a 3rd scale of pay for them. So they would have the highest level of pay they would receive is at the NHL level. Then they would receive a secondary level of pay at the American League level, and a 3rd level of pay at the East Coast Hockey League level. So the contracts are structured that way. Now, yes, they are their property, and they kind of have the right to choose basically, what to do with them, whether to assign them here, keep them in the American Hockey League. And in some cases, maybe their affiliate's not a great fit for that player, and they will loan them out to different other organizations, even at our level too, if there isn't really a good fit that's productive for not only the team, but also for the player. I mean, it's about relationships, right? So that's kind of the system. But, again, what it is, you try to build a depth in your organization. So when that American League team does have injuries or they have suspension or they need bodies, then they go to their affiliate. And again, I think it's only fair to the player that is in that organization, because American League teams can go outside their affiliate and can bring in free agent players, but it really doesn't bode well. It doesn't look good on your scouting staff. It doesn't look good on your organization, and you want to try to develop and nurture your own player, and so that's how the affiliation part of this works at our level.
Well, and you, I'm not sure how it works with the IceMen, but I know in minor league football, you're only allowed in the indoor game, you're allowed to suit up X amount of guys. I think it was like, I don't even remember what it was anymore, 21 guys, maybe something on an active roster, and then you have guys on a practice squad, 4 or 5 guys.
Yeah.
Now, is that kind of how you work it as well? Because you got to have somebody to jump in and fill in for these guys when they get called out.
We can have an active roster of 20 players, but only 18 players can play in an actual game. So there can only be a maximum of 18 players suited up for our games. Now, we also, along with that active roster, have 2 players that we can use that are on reserve, that are players that don't count against our salary cap, and they can come in and out of our active roster at any point in time. So basically, you have 22 players that you can maneuver in and out of your 18-man lineup on a nightly basis based off of health, affiliation, and just basically body strength, strength of bodies. So, you can have up to 22 players actively ready to play on an 18-man game night. Really is what you have. And
the pay is, I would take it, if you're on an 18-man active, is different than the 4-man reserve?
Well, the pay, no, the when the player signs his contract, that's his contract regardless of whether he's on injured reserve, on the reserve, or on the active roster. That doesn't change. I have a $12,200 a week salary cap, so I have to make my active roster fit within that salary cap. Now, some players maybe make more money to where I can maybe only have 18 active instead of the 20, or so those are just decisions that you make as long as you keep it within the numbers. Correct, but the player's rate of pay never really changes, unless they're released. Really. Yeah. Okay. So that stays the same.
Evansville IceMen head coach Dwight Mullins in studio in the Crease talking some Evansville IceMen hockey. Just one more thing for you, Coach. You guys have been on the road quite a bit through the month of November. You've got the road game Wednesday night against Indianapolis, and then you get to spend most of December home here in the Ford Center. What do you need to do tomorrow night or against Indianapolis to come back home with a win before you host Kalamazoo on Friday?
Well, it's a couple. Like for us, I think it's about consistency. I think we've been playing really good hockey lately, and so again, we want to continue to do the right things that have been making us successful. Again, we're going into a building that's difficult to play in. They play well at home, and they're a team that's kind of searching for some points and for some things positive heading into the month as well. So we're going to have our hands full, but at the same time, I really like the way our team's playing. I know that we've had a couple of call-ups, but I also really like the addition that we had made in Jim McKenzie. I think that helps us, have a core that can survive through this time. The other thing is that I look at this group that we're heading to Indianapolis, and then we played maybe one of our best games of the year against Greenville Road Warriors here last Sunday, with this lineup that we're probably going to take tomorrow night into Indianapolis. So it's a capable lineup. There's no doubt about it. I like the way our team's playing at this point, but we're going to be tested. It's a challenge to win on the road in this league. There's no doubt about it, no matter what the opponent is. So, I think that we'll look at that, and then, the rest of the month it will be really nice to be home.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. That's Evansville IceMen head coach Dwight Mullins in the Crease talking Evansville IceMen hockey. Always a pleasure, Coach. We plan on seeing you again next week.
Hey, guys, thanks. I was really looking forward to it, and hopefully everybody can get back healthy here.